with this. And EBN TV begins tonight with this. A day after violent crashes erupted between communities in Isinya Town, Kajiado County, community elders are calling for calm and peaceful coexistence. The leaders have unanimously condemned the ongoing skirmishes among youth groups that have left one person dead, several others injured and property destroyed. They are now urging police to intervene and restore order as tension remains high and most businesses remain closed. The clashes are said to have begun 3 weeks ago following a dispute between a boda rider and his passenger, an incident that has since escalated into ethnic tension and violence, turning the town into a battlefield. As the situation remains tense, elders are appealing to residents to shun violence and embrace peace that Kajiado has long been known for.
Hatuwezi kubali watu wenye wanakaa pamoja na amani wafurugane, na tunaomba kama viongozi, kama shida imetokea, watu ni kukaa chini wanaitatua, lakini sio kupigana. So tunaomba watu wote, makabila yote ile inakaa Kajiado, hakuwezi kosa makosa, lakini kosa likitokea watu wakae chini walitatue ili wapate suluhisho.
Kajiado ni inchi ndani ya inchi, kila kabila wanaishi Kajiado, na tungependa tuishi kwa amani vile tumekuwa tukiishi. Mambo ingine ndogo ndogo, kuna viongozi, kuna administration, kuna political leaders, tunaweza kaa chini tuone jinsi tunaweza kutatua hizi maneno.
As permanent residents of this county, we once experienced such violence sometimes back in Kitengela, and we don't want such things to happen again.
And away from that, as Kenyans today marked National Environment Day across the country, President William Ruto led the nation in celebrating the occasion by planting trees at State House Girls High School in Nairobi. Speaking during the ceremony where he was accompanied by First Lady Rachel Ruto, the President announced that the Kenya Forest Service will partner with the National Youth Service to deploy 15,000 officers who will help expand tree nurseries to 317 forestation stations across the country. President Ruto further noted that the national tree planting drive will boost agricultural productivity, enhance food security, and beautify the country's environment. The government-led campaign is part of the ambitious 15 billion tree planting program aimed at combating the effects of climate change and promoting a greener, healthier Kenya.
The Forest Service and the National Youth Service are now going to work together. We're going to mobilize 15,000 National Service personnel to work with the Kenya Forest Service to restart 300 nurseries in all our forest stations and all our forested areas, so that we can have 2 billion seedlings available to the people of Kenya every year. So we are going to run with the project Kenya Forest Service, working with the National Youth Service in all our forest stations across the country, and also have another 17 mega nurseries in different parts of Kenya to look after different ecological zones, so that we can produce 2 billion trees, 2 billion seedlings every year. Because what has been a constraint over the last 2 years is the availability of seedlings.
And still on that note, Health Principal Secretary Mary Muthoni has emphasized the need for all Kenyans to maintain cleanliness in their homes and surrounding, noting that diseases linked to poor hygiene continue to rise across the country. Speaking during a tree planting ceremony at Ngiriambu Primary School in Kirinyaga County, Muthoni said the recent cholera outbreak in Transmara was a result of residents neglecting basic hygiene practices, unlike during the COVID-19 pandemic, when cleanliness was strictly observed. She further urged Kenyans not to wait for National Tree Planting Day stressing that tree planting should be a daily habit for every citizen.
Please, siku hizi tunasoma CBC. Kwa hivyo wazazi wako hapa. Kama mtoto ni mtu wa Kenya Power.
As a country, we have come together and called this day Mazingira Day, so that each and every one of us, we can go back to our homes, we can go back to our schools, we can go back to our communities and plant as many trees as possible. Remember, His Excellency the President, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, he has led the way and he has challenged us that by the year 2032, we will have planted 15 billion trees. Are you going to be counted? Make those orchards, make a legacy and be counted.
And our citizens took part in tree planting activities aimed at promoting environmental conservation and restoration across the country. Students joined hands in supporting the national tree planting campaign. At Brookshine School, learners planted over 2,000 trees this year, a clear demonstration of their commitment to fighting climate change. The school's principal, Kayesi Parkley, said environmental education plays a key role in shaping responsible future leaders. The government-led campaign seeks to plant 100 million trees across the country on October 10th as part of the ongoing efforts to restore the nation's forest cover.
Change has become a very abrupt topic nowadays, as we know. So we are achieving this goal by planting the numbers of trees, by suppressing carbon emissions emitted in the air.
To plant a lot of trees so that we can achieve the goal of planting 15 billion trees by 2032.
Here we planted over 2,000 trees with our students, and this was in an effort to curb the incidence of floods.
Na wasaidia wanafunzi wetu waweze kutoka nje, wakimaliza chuo, wakiwa kule nje wawe kama ambassadors wa mambo ya environment.
And still on matters Mazingira Day here at EBN TV and Radio Mshindi, we were not left behind in this important day as Chief Executive Officer Mr. Jeffrey Somba led the team in marking this important day. Let us take a look on what he had to say.
Today, as we mark Mazingira Day, EBN TV and Radio Mshindi proudly stand alongside partners and the community in planting trees, not just as a symbolic act, but as a real commitment to protecting our environment in a world facing deforestation, climate change, and environmental degradation. Tree planting remains one of the most effective and impactful ways to restore nature, fight global warming, and secure a sustainable future. As a media, our role goes beyond reporting. We believe in leading by example, using our platforms not only to inform and educate, but to inspire and mobilize action for a cleaner and a greener planet. This event is a call to unity and responsibility. Each tree planted today represents hope, life, and a shared promise to a future generation. At EBN TV and Radio Mshindi, we pledge to continue championing environmental awareness and amplifying the voices of those protecting our natural resources. Let this not end here. Let it spark a continuous movement of conservation. Together, let's plant, protect, and prosper. Happy Mazingira Day, and may this day remind us that a true change starts with each one of us. Happy Mazingira Day to you all.
On another different note, in the ongoing voter registration exercise, the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, that is IEBC, in Nyeri County, has expressed concerns over the low voter turnout after only 418 new voters were registered out of a target of more than 13,700 as of Wednesday. The exercise, which has recorded minimal participation, especially among the youth, has raised questions about whether the electoral body will meet its national target of registering at least 6.3 million new voters by the year 2027. According to the Commission, the slow pace has been partly blamed on the registration process being limited to IEBC constituency offices. Nyeri Town constituency currently leads the 6 constituencies in the county in the number of newly registered voters.
Both end improvement in terms of registration of voters, since we started on 29th of September, because the first day in the county we registered only 14, but the following, the third day, we registered 49, and the number has been increasing all through. Some of those challenges is we are not able to reach the farthest part of the constituency because this exercise is being done only in our offices. And some constituencies like Kayesi is quite vast, and to reach the farthest may not be easy.
Moving on to matters education is that with less than a month to the end of the 2025 academic year, the junior school teachers in Tana River under their union CUPET are strongly opposing a directive by Education Cabinet Secretary Julius Migos Sugamba stating that junior secondary schools will remain under the leadership of current primary school head teachers. They argue that the move to establish comprehensive schools will create confusion in leadership and derail the smooth implementation of the competency-based education, saying the current setups undermine not only the profession but also the very foundation of the new education system. The teachers have further raised concerns over poor working conditions, claiming they face constant intimidation and lack of respect due to domiciling of JSS in primary schools. The renewed push for autonomy comes as the first cohort of competency-based education learners prepare to transition to senior school next year.
We are saying no to this idea of comprehensive schools. What are comprehensive schools? We want JSS to be independent. Autonomy? Lazima. Autonomy? Lazima. We have the structured kind of education. Primary schools are independent. Senior schools are independent. Tertiary and colleges are independent. Why are they telling us that now JSS has to be domiciled in primary school, being headed by primary school teachers? We are saying no.
Ili walimu waweze kupata promotion because sahihi hakuna clear guideline ya kuwa JSS watapata promotion. Wamewekwa tu hapo, hakuna kitu inaendelea. JSS lazima ikuwe independent.
The working environments we are going through is not friendly.
Not friendly.
Autonomy lazima. There is an opportunity for to realize transparency and accountability in the issues like sports activities. These things are run like personal entities.
We need autonomy, and we are not going to debate about it anymore.
What is happening is this: the senior school principals, they are managing their schools very well. What is happening with our OIs? They are getting their capitation, but there is nothing going on.
And with our story, it's time now for us here at EBN TV to take a short commercial break. We promise to be back shortly. Don't go away as we've got a lot lined up for you. Welcome back to EBN TV Weekend Edition. My name is George Kayesi, and on sign language I'm joined by Laura Omondi. Moving on is the Tharaka Nithi Governor Muthomi Njuki, who also chairs the Council of Governors Health Committee, is calling on the national government to invest more in preventive health care rather than treatment as part of efforts to achieve universal health coverage. Governor Njuki noted that both the national and county government have yet to change their funding approach in the health sector, saying that most of the budget still goes towards curing diseases instead of preventing them.
All those diseases are being brought about by non-investment in preventive measures in our country. Kuna pesa hutumika kwa disease surveillance na ile kuzuia pia madisisi zienee. Lakini kama sisi counties na national government tumewacha kuweka pesa kwa public health, hii magonjwa mpaka itokee. So hiyo si shida ya wananchi ni kidogo tu, ikitokea mzuie na kuhakikisha kwamba wale wamepata wamekuwa isolated. Wale wamepata wamekimbia hospitali.
As the fight against mental health challenges continues, residents of Kayesi County have been sensitized on the importance of mental wellness. Health stakeholders, in partnership with community-based organizations, organized a series of forums across the county to raise awareness of mental health issues. Speaking at a designated center serving victims from the South Nyanza region, stakeholders identified stigma and drug abuse as major barriers in the fight against mental health challenges, not only in the region but across the country.
We want to appreciate, and this day is generally for appreciating and celebrating World Mental Health Day, and that's why we've gathered to ensure that we celebrate together with our team. This facility, we started it because there is need to have mental health discussed and also discuss about the wellness of the people and people who are involved in terms of working, and also ensuring that people's wellness is good.
Most of the issues here that we handle, the youth experience issues such as substance abuse, we get depression, we get anxiety, we get even trauma. So those are the issues that we handle here. And I know most people are afraid to seek help because they're like, there's a lot of judginess or there are a lot of stigma. But here we offer youth-friendly services. We offer
the notion they have built about the mental diseases that most of these patients we have of mental health, they try to bring something like witchcraft inside, which is not okay. I'm here to encourage most of our people that mental.
And moving on is that youths from Isiolo County have benefited from a special training program under the Wezesha Vijana Mashinani initiative aimed at empowering young people at the grassroots level. Speaking during the training held at Turkana Camp in Burat Sub-County, Youth and Entrepreneurship Coordinator at the Catholic Relief Services, Irene Werimo, emphasized the importance of the program, noting that it's being implemented in partnership with the Safaricom Foundation to equip youth with practical skills for self-reliance and community development.
TVET Mashinani, we are removing the TVET institution from the boundaries of within the school and bringing it to the community and providing these marketable skills in mobile phone repair, baking and pastry. We have motorcycle repair and plumbing.
Partnering with Catholic Relief Services in Nairobi, Marsabit and Isiolo counties. We continue to invest together with the partnership in counties, working with the county governments in all the 3 counties to advance the youth agenda, funding TVET program.
Nasomea mobile phone repairing na nia yangu ya kumaliza hii course ni kufungua biashara na kuwezesha vijana wengine pia waweze kusoma hiyo course na kuelimisha wanawake wenzangu.
The knowledge ama skill inakuja kwako. Kwa sababu skill ni kujua kufanya kitu na mkono yako na unajua kama ni waya inapitia mahali fulani.
That story brings us to the end of tonight's bulletin here at TBN Weekend Edition. On behalf of our sign language interpreter Laura Mondi and the entire EBN news team that made all this possible, I am Judge Kayesi, and a big thank you for spending your evening with us. And as usual, remember, often